Wow, what an engine. It reminds me of my street triple. It needs revving, but once you get to the magic power band, you're away. Pity you have to stare at a diver's face whilst you're doing it, though. I'm talking about the dash that Yamaha thought would be a good idea for the 2021 model. There's hope, though. With a bit of luck, they'll be announcing a revised dash for the 2023 model next week in Milan. And if they do, the TRACER would be pretty much the perfect bike for me. Except it isn't, for two reasons, as I'll explain at the end of the video. So let's look at the good things, and there are plenty of those. First, the looks. I'm not a huge fan of this blue and silver paint scheme, but I think it does look smart in red with its sporty, almost multi-strata stance. Some of the plastics are a bit cheap, and there are a few cables that could have been better hidden. But overall, fit and finish is good, if not outstanding, on a level with, for example, the Triumph Tiger 660 Sport. The front is a bit insectoid with its lights all over the place, and I don't particularly like the shape of the panniers, which incidentally are too small to fit a helmet into. Other than that, a good looking bike, apart from that screen. It's crammed with information I don't really care about, and despite having plenty of real estate, there's no GPS function, even a simple turn-by-turn, and I don't think anyone actually likes the look of it. But I won't dwell on it because, as I said, the 2023 model is rumoured to be getting a more traditional colour TFT screen, as well as a new active cruise control come radar thing. Hopefully, we'll be seeing this at EICMA, which, at the time of recording, is only a couple of days away. So, what's it like to ride? Well, I won't beat around the bush. It goes like stink and handles really well for a tall rounder. 120 horsepower or thereabouts, and a healthy dollop of torque. You do have to rev it to get it, but once you're above about 6,500 RPM, it really pulls. And it's certainly much livelier, much sportier than the Tiger 900 or the Honda NT 1100. Wind protection ain't great though. The screen's too small, it's too short, and it generates a fair bit of buffeting above about 60 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. Another thing I noticed is the lack of legroom, even with the seat in its higher of the two positions. I'm about 6'1" or 187, and I'm used to cramped legs on my Speed Twin, but I tend to ride that in shortish blasts of about 30 minutes or so between breaks, so it's not too much of a problem. I'm looking for more stretch room on a sports tourer, and the upper body is canted quite far forward by the seat angle, with weight being supported by your wrists. Again, okay for a sports bike, not so good if you're looking to do hundreds of miles. The shape of the seat means there's not much room to shuffle back either because you quickly run into the pillion seat. The dealer told me you can gain another 12 millimeters or so by opting for the more thickly padded comfort seat. So I definitely think about that for a bit more stretch room if I were to buy a TRACER 9. The semi-adaptive suspension on this GT bike was good, but it's not the best I've tried. More of a budget premium suspension, if there is such a thing. The front forks soaked up bumps nicely, but the rear shock seemed a bit hard, despite my best efforts to dial it back. I'd probably go for the base model TRACER 9 for that reason, plus I don't really like or need the panniers that come with this GT. The brakes are excellent though, no problems there, though unsurprisingly not quite as beefy as the Brembo Stylemas that come on the Triumph Tiger 900. The gear change is slick, as is the quick shifter, though for some reason I could only get it to work properly on upshifts. I queried the dealer on returning the bike because the information I'd seen online said it was up and down, and he confirmed in a sort of circumspect way that it was really only good at upshifts. It certainly felt a bit first generation, which might explain why it's such a cheap option compared to other manufacturers. Now, talking of price, this is a very competitively priced bike, especially when compared to the less powerful, if admittedly better finished Triumph Tiger. Regular viewers know that I like plenty of power from my bikes, and the TRACER's Crossplay 900 certainly delivers on that score. So why am I eliminating it from my shortlist? Well, two reasons, and to be fair, they're not the bike's fault. First, I already have a relatively powerful, fun-to-ride bike in the shape of my Triumph Speed Twin 1200, which I'll be keeping, and so I'm not really looking for another thrill machine. Second, the TRACER is a great bike for all-round touring, but it has absolutely no off-road pretensions at all. About 20 years ago, I owned this Toyota RAV4. I must have taken it off-road about half a dozen times in the 2 years I had it, but it was always nice to know that I had the option to go off-road, and that's what I'm looking for in my new bike. Now, I don't need a full-on 21-inch enduro madness machine, but a 19-inch front shod with 80/20 or 90/10 road bias tyres would be nice. Maybe I'll get some ideas from Eichmann next week. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions, and as always, thanks for watching.